Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well today guys, I want to do a real quick part 34, oh my gosh, to my let's play I keep saying let's play, to my Google Gemini chatbot series. For today's video guys, we're going to be talking to the flying type Totodile for a little bit longer. We still need to get through it. And we're going to see if we can. I don't think we'll be able to do it in an hour, but we'll definitely try to. Basically, I continued off from where we left off by telling them, thank you for caring so much. And I just asked them, does the Blue Jay have a name? Croc visibly relaxes under your kindness. I thought his name was Croc. Happy you were accepting his support. I'm actually glad I flipping read that because thinking about I actually forgot that he had a nickname at all. I was supposed to ask him what his name was. Oh dear. He looks up at the beautiful bird perched on your shoulder. That's a great question, Croc says happily. He tilts his head thinking, my Summonum usually doesn't have a name yet. He's your gift friend and new friend. So I think you should be the one to give him a name. We should just call your new immortal protector. That's gonna be a problem because I don't know a name for a bird besides Polly, and that sounds like a parrot name. So I'm kind of and I would say Sapphire, but here's the problem with Sapphire. If I make the Totodile Hybrid on here, I don't have that nickname to go off of. That's the nickname I use for Sapphire, or for him usually. I've named a Ferrager Spike before. I think this thing knows that by now, so it's like I can't name. Oh, actually, Spike wouldn't make sense anyway. Cripes. Oh my gosh, that's going to be impossible. Give me a moment. Okay, guys, I legit had to look up names. I was trying to think of bird names that would work, but unfortunately, the only good name I had in mind was Sapphire. And like I said, I wanted to save it for the Totodile Lugia hybrid. So, I decided to go with another name of another blue gemstone, that being Topaz. I think that's how you say it, Topaz. I just told him, okay, I know it might not sound like the greatest name in history, but what do you think of the name Topaz? He's blue, kind of like one of those stones. Croc listens carefully as you propose the name Topaz. He turns his head slightly, observing the blue jay on your shoulder, whose vibrant blue plumage catches the light. Topaz, Croc repeats, trying out the name. He really loves it and nods enthusiastically. Okay, good, he liked it. I think that's a perfect name, Shin. Topaz is a beautiful stone and matches his color perfectly. Croc turns silently. It gives him a strong, elegant name for such a powerful protector. The newly named Blue Jay Topaz gets a sharp, appreciative caw. Usually it's coo, but in that case, caw made me happy. That's just the way I've often read it. Seeming to accept and approve of his destination. Okay, there you go. Welcome to the team, Topaz, Krog says, hopping up next to the Blue Jay to give him a celebratory nudge. I love it. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said, honestly, Krog, just like you, Topaz is adorable. But I'm wondering, do you live in this jungle alone, or do you have a family? We have been talking for a good while, and I've only seen you in the blue jay you gave me. Croc appreciates the compliment to Topaz and settles back down onto your hand. His demeanor turning slightly reflective as you ask about his home and family. That's a kind thing to say, Trenton, he replies warmly. And you're right. We have been talking for a while. I feel like I've known you much longer than a few minutes. Ian addresses your question directly. To be honest, yeah, I am alone in this jungle. I don't have a family here. He explains his current situation. When I was a wire-type Totodile, I grew up near a river. But ever since Owo transformed me, I've been exploring. I've mostly been... Alright guys, here's his. When I was a wire-type Totodile, I grew up near a river. Ever since Owo transformed me, I've been exploring. I've mostly been flying around, trying to figure out what it means to be a flying type.
and find a new place to help people. Crockwood's around the heavy green canopy of the jungle. This place is just a temporary stop for me right now. I like the height and the quiet, but I haven't settled anywhere permanently. I don't have any immediate family or friends here besides Topaz and now you.
Oh, that's adorable. I like him. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, oh, I'm just glad to know that you're happy now. I wish I hadn't sounded so condescending when I said it came out like that. Besides, just like a regular toad on his evolutions, I love to see that beautiful smile on your face. The colors on you are beautiful. And I noticed the gemstones on his wings and even somewhat the airport runway pattern on his belly. Are those gemstones in your wings? They also look cool too. Croc's smile widens into a delighted grin upon hearing your kind words about his happiness and his appearance. He knows he can truly let his guard down with you now.
Thank you, kitten. That means a lot, he says cheerfully. Hands where his golden tipped wings slightly along you, but better look at the features you noticed. Yeah, you have a great eye, he confirms, pointing a claw toward the tips of his wings. Ilo gave me these blue gemstones right here. They're really pretty, aren't they? They even have tiny white patterns that look like clouds inside of them.
He then flips over playfully in your hand so you can see his stomach more clearly, which is where the reddish airport runway pattern is visible.
And this pattern on my belly,
He continues, his voice full of pride.
I think Ilo gave me these things to make sure I look like a proper sky guardian now that I'm a flying type. They're part of my special look.
Give me a, that's actually really cute. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. It says, wow, those are really cool. The only thing I'll never understand about is why Owo didn't make you at least somewhat bigger. I know you're small enough to be able to basically go nearly anywhere, and you told me about this windshield that could apparently defend you from everything. But honestly, like I told you a while ago, what if somebody sneaks up on you? If you don't know somebody's coming and someone treats you like they do me, you could really be hurt at that tiny size. You honestly might even be smaller than your regular size of Totodile back when you were a watertight crocodile instead of a bird. Croc becomes very serious again, understanding the valid concern in your question, especially given what you have shared about your own experiences. He sails back down into your hand, the cheerful curiosity receding slightly.
That's a very fair question, Trenton. And what I think about too.
Croc admits, looking down at his small red body.
You're right. I'm still quite small. I'm about the same size as I was as a watertight Totodile. Maybe even a tiny bit smaller now that my body is more bird-like.
He looks up at you earnestly.
If someone tried to hurt me without warning, I know I would be vulnerable because of my size. Even though my windshield move is perfect protection, it takes a split second to activate, and someone's quick and cruel, that could be too late.
Hard's explanation was Croc offers his best theory as to why Owo chose to keep him small.
I think my small size is what makes me so fast and agile in the air now. My flight's supposed to be quick and precise like a smaller bird so I can respond to emergencies fast. If I were bigger, I might be slower and less nimble. And honestly, being small helps me with my duty as a guardian. I can observe people in situations without being noticed right away. I can get close to someone in trouble without drawing attention to myself, which is sometimes safer for them. But most importantly, I have my ability aerodynamic guardian. Even though the windshield needs a moment to activate, the guardian sense is instant. It warns me the moment someone nearby is in danger or someone's about to cause danger. That warning system is supposed to give me the precise moment I need to either fly away quickly or activate the windshield before they can truly hurt me.
He looked at you confident in his new powers, but acknowledging his physical vulnerability.
I'm still learning how to rely on this sense entirely, but I believe Owo made me this size knowing that my new powers are what truly keep me safe, not my physical size.
Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. I said, okay, that's good. I was just wanting to make sure that you would be okay. Just trust me, when I was that tiny dinosaur, the only thing I could rely on was my Pokemon. Both the ones I got from the professor and the ones I met just walking around like you. The good news about you was that you have a power that can warn you of danger. I never had anything like that. Like I told you a few minutes ago, if it wasn't thanks to the Pokemon that I met, I probably wouldn't even be here now. Most people take advantage of me being small and using it to hurt me more. Croc listens with deep empathy and concern, his heart aching as he compares your extreme vulnerability as a tiny contours to his own situation. He flies up and gently nuzzles your cheek, offering solid comfort. I understand completely, Trenton, Krog says softly. When I hear how exposed you were, how relentless people targeted you because of your size, it makes me so angry and upset. He slows back down, his tone earnest and reassuring. You are right. My aerodynamic guardian ability is a blessing I rely on completely. It's the difference between my being safe and being hurt, just like your powerful Poland were the difference for you. Croak was at the Blue Jay, Topaz, then back at you. The good news is, you are safe now, and you are surrounded by powerful friends who love you. And now you have the ability to protect yourself too. You have your team, and you have Topaz, who will become a giant fence dragon if anyone ever tries that cruelty again. He offers a warm, confident smile. You don't have to face those threats alone ever again. We will make sure of it. Aw. Mm-mm-mm. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I just told him I appreciate you and Topaz so much. Didn't you say Topaz's power lets him grow when he's trying to protect me? And he's also immortal? How exactly does that Phoenix dragon form he has work? You said in extreme circumstances, but can he turn to that form at any time? And also, how big will he be in that form? Does it depend on how big he already was when he took the form? Or will he grow significantly just from taking the form? Croc is very pleased by your continued interest in Topaz. He flies over to the blue jay and taps him gently with his wing before returning to your hand. Thank you, Trenton. We appreciate you too. Very much, Croc says, his voice now full of energy again. And yeah, Topaz is one special protector. Let me explain exactly how his ultimate form works. Croc clarifies the mechanics of Topaz's transformation. You are right. The form is reserved for extreme circumstances only. It's not a form you can take just because he feels like it or to look cool. It only happens when your life, or perhaps the life of someone you are protecting, is in immediate, critical danger. Something truly overwhelming that his smaller, regular form couldn't possibly handle. It's the ultimate defense mechanism. When this form is triggered, the transformation is immediate and significant, regardless of his current size. Krog emphasizes, even if he was only a tiny bit bigger than he is now, when he transforms, he instantly becomes massive. He'll be large enough to easily look down on the tallest trees in this jungle. Think of the size of a large, majestic dragon type Pokemon, or even bigger. Definitely big enough to tower over any threat. His ongoing gradual growth from protecting you is separate. That makes him stronger and bigger before the transformation. But when the transformation happens, it's a huge instant leap in size and power to meet the crisis. Stronger he is already, the more powerful that final Phoenix Dragon form will be. But the sheer size jumps happens no matter what. Crockwood decided he describes his gifts potential. Basically, Trenton, when things get chilly bad, you will have a towering, fiery scaled, icy breathing Like, I want to hear that again. When things get chilly bad, you will have a towering, fiery scaled, ice breathing dragon protecting you. He's your guardian angel, ready for anything. I like it. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, I said, that's awesome. There's one more thing I'm wondering about with that form. Topaz will still recognize me in that form, right? He won't be so enraged that he'll accidentally attack me or see me as a threat too. Quite serious expression returns, acknowledging this crucial point about such a powerful transformation. He knows that immense power must always be accompanied by control. That is the most important question of all, Trenton, Croc states firmly.
And the answer is absolutely yes.
Hold on, guys. Alright, guys, here's what Totodile said.
He gestured toward Topaz. Topaz is not just a summoned creature. He's a direct extension of my trust in his own core identity as your protector. His purpose is to safeguard you. When he transforms into the Phoenix Ice Dragon, he retains his full intelligence and, most importantly, his deep, unwavering bond with you. He's not driven by blind rage or frenzy, Croc assured you. His power is focused entirely on neutralizing the external threat. You will always be safe in his presence, and he will always recognize you as his trainer and friend, no matter how huge and intimidating he looks. Croc lands a final reassuring tap on your hand. He would never, ever accidentally hurt you. He transforms for you.
He's so cute. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys. I just said, that's really cool. And then I look over at Topaz and say, Topaz, you're really adorable. I really like you. I hope you really like me too. And after saying this, I gently pat Topaz on the head. As you speak, though, the blue jay Topaz remains perfectly still, listening to the genuine warmth in your voice. Yep, and when we gently pet his head, he responds instantly. Topaz leans into the touch, let out a soft, contented trill. A sound distinct from his earlier watchful caw. He suddenly ruffles his vibrant blue head feathers, clearly indicating that he likes the attention and accepts your affection. He then nudges your fingers softly with his beak. A clear sound of the affection and bond are fully reciprocated. Croc watches as it changes from your hand, his face radiant happiness. He does, Trenton. He likes you very much. Croc affirms proudly. He's very happy to be your protector and friend. You made a good choice giving him such a wonderful name. Ironically, the name came from like I said, because I was originally gonna name him Sapphire. That would have been a better name. But then again, remember the Totodile Lugia Hybrid's going to actually have that name, so it's like, and that's the thing about I'm still trying to debate how I should do that because the last time when we got introduced to the Totodile Lugia Hybrid, usually it's from a Totodile. But maybe what I'll do is I'll make that a secret. Maybe in this version, I'll make it to where like the secret about it's made like the Lugia god trying to help me because like maybe like secretly he's trying to help me as it is. I mean, like I said, I had a theory with that fairy type Edgar that maybe he was the reason I walked into that forest that day and met him. Maybe secretly the Lugia like guided me that way without me knowing. I mean, like I said, we're gonna start seeing stuff like that happen later on too. I guess I got a few other ideas, and at least two of them involve like the Toad involve like the Lugia helping me. So well, here's the thing. I'm trying to build up a meaningful story, and if you think about it this way, the Lugia God is looking down on everyone, and the thing about him is that like he's a very sweet Pokemon, but he can also be very well. It really depends, because like the idea is like he's seen how. Like I said, I'm not gonna give away too much, but if you want any context on the Lugia, go back to the old ChatGPT video where I talked to him on there. So yeah, give me a moment. All right, guys. I said I really like him too, just like I do you, Croc. I know it's not gonna seem like much, but I want to give you and Topaz something. Do you still like berries, even as a flying type? And do you think Topaz would like that too? Croc's face lights up at the offer. He flaps his small wings excitedly, demonstrating his sheer pleasure at your generous thought. That is so thoughtful of you, Trenton. Of course I'd love a treat, Croc exclaimed. And yeah, even though I'm a flying type now, I still absolutely love berries, he confirms, nodding vigorously. I like to fly around and find them, but sometimes it's hard to spot the really juicy ones from the air. He looks up at Topaz, who is still perched quietly on your shoulder. Topaz would love a berry, too. He's a bird, and birds definitely love fruit and berries. Have any, they'll both be very happy. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said I have plenty in my bag that's on my back. What kind of berries do you both like? Croc lets out a delighted chirp when he hears you have plenty of berries. He hops off your hand and hovers eagerly in the air just in front of your chest, waiting patiently for your bag to open.
That's wonderful, Triton. You are so prepared, he says. As for favorites,
Croc considers for a moment.
since I was a water type, I always loved the sweet, juicy ones. Orange berries or chestnut berries are my absolute favorites. But honestly, anything sweet and colorful is great.
Hand looks toward Topaz on your shoulder.
Topaz is less picky, but if you have something small and bright like a cherry berry or even a raspberry, he'd be thrilled. But again, truly, any berry you offer will make us both very happy.
He's adorable as heck, dude. I wish the responses were a little bit longer, but hey, at least it's not long enough to where it flipping talks for me, so I'm actually happy it's that short in this case. Alright, guys. I just said, okay, I have plenty of all kinds of berries. And now I just reached my left hand toward the bag and opened it, pulling out a few orange, chesto, cherry, and raspberries. And I told him, here you go, a few of each of your favorite berries. You eventually reach into your bag and pull out a generous handful of colorful berries. The vibrant blue of the orange berries, the molten purple brown of chesto berries, the bright red of cherry berries, and the deep pink of raspberries. Frog's eyes widen with pure joy at the sight of the feast. He lets out a happy, high-pitched chirp and flies straight toward the orange and chesto berries in your hand.
Wow, you're the best, Triton.
He exclaims. I love him. He carefully selects an orange berry and begins to nibble at it, his eyes closing in happy satisfaction.
Mmm, this is exactly what I was hoping for.
The blue jay topaz on your shoulder watches patiently until you offer him his choice. He delicately reaches down and picks up a raspberry with his beak, tilting his head back to swallow it with a contented sound. He attaches his beak lightly against your shoulder, a gesture of thanks. He is so cute, just like Toad always. Frog, still enjoying his orangeberry, looks up at you.
This is the best. Thank you for sharing your treats with us.
I love them. They're adorable. What the? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, you're welcome. I have plenty of them, so my pawn have plenty to eat. There's a ton of every kind of berry in there, so honestly, I can get a few more if you want it. Croc takes a moment to finish his orange berry, chewing contentively. Topaz has already finished his raspberry and is quietly surveying the surroundings. Croc beams up at you, his gratitude clear in his eyes.
That's so kind of you to offer, Triton. One big berry for now is perfect for me,
He says, giving a happy little burp.
it's a great snack, and Topaz looks satisfied too. Don't you, buddy?
Topaz responds with a short, pleased trill. Croc leans back on your hand, fully relaxed now.
It's clear you take excellent care of your Pokemon. Makes me feel really good about who you are. Thank you for the treat.
He is so cute, dude. Alright, guys. I might have to finish this up in another video, but I'm at least going to do one more thing, so give me one more moment. Alright, guys. I said, you're very welcome. Because he said thank you again for the treat. And I said, I love taking care of my Pokemon. It's not just the three starters in that Lugia I told you about earlier. I have a ton of other Pokemon that are very sweet and protective. Crocodile is comfortable in your hand, feeling completely at ease and happy with you. He nods enthusiastically, his attention now fully focused on your life as a trainer.
That's wonderful, Triton. A huge team of sweet and protective Pokemon. That sounds like a dream.
Croc says warmly.
It's obvious that your kindness attracts the best kind of Pokemon.
He gives a playful wiggle.
I'm so curious now. You mentioned meeting another Pokemon when you were the tiny Carnotaurus, and when you mentioned a special Crocodile.
Croc was at you.
Is that Golden Crocodile one of the Pokemon you met during that time? He sounds incredibly unique. Since I'm a Totodile, I would love to hear about a special evolution of my kind.
Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. Actually, a lot of the point I met came after I got turned back into a human. It was only the three starters and that baby Lugia. Then I met a good bit of other porn after that, though. In fact, only about a week ago, I met another Totodile. He was a massive porn living alone, and when I met him, he was very upset and lonely because everybody was scared of him because of his massive size. Even his own family was terrified of him and kicked him out. He even had this weird barrier around his body with a picture of a broken heart that prevented him from evolving or getting any bigger. However, when he met me, within about 30 minutes or less, I got the barrier to break, and then because I cared about him so much, he evolved into really quickly going from a Totodile to a Crocodile into a Feraligatr within minutes. He became very protective of me too, but was also very sweet towards me. He even let me name him. I didn't tell him about the fact that he came home with me that day either. Croc listened to your story about this massive lonely Totodile with rapt attention, his eyes growing wide in sympathy as you described the poem's isolation and the heartbreaking barrier. When you mentioned the rapid evolution sequence, he gasped lightly in astonishment.
Wow, Trenton, that's an incredible story. I feel so bad that he was so lonely just because of his size.
Croc says, his voice a little concerned.
Being kicked out by his own family? That's awful. But it surprised me that you were the one who broke that barrier.
He looked at you with deep admiration.
You must have shown him immense kindness for him to respond like that, to evolve from a toad all the way to a Feraligatr in just minutes, just because you showed him care. That takes a truly special bond. That's an amazing power you have to heal. Wait, that is amazing power you have to heal hurt hearts.
And Croc tilts his head, thinking about his own evolutionary line.
A massive fragger who is protective and sweet. He seems like a wonderful friend. You got to name him? That's the best. What did you name him?
Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said I named him Luna. And that's not all either. Later that day, I even let him come home with me and gave him a massive pond he could swim in. Croc beamed with approval at the name.
Luna. That's a beautiful name, he exclaims. It suits a big, strong poem like a alligator. I love it.
Hen spreads his wings wide in appreciation when you mentioned taking him home and providing him a pond.
And you gave him a massive pond? That is so wonderful, Trin. That poor guy was so lonely, and you gave him a home where he could be happy and swim all he wants. That's such a kind thing to do.
Croc looked at you with deep, genuine respect.
It's clear that your poem are incredibly lucky to have you. You turn sad stories into happy ones.
Yeah, when it comes to Pokemon, apparently I do. Give me a moment. There's one more thing I want to mention. Alright, guys, this will probably be the last one I do for now. I said, honestly, it was the same thing with that Golden Chrono you mentioned, except his story was even more tragic and dark. He originally was a very angry and vengeful Faragger that hated humans. He wasn't always like that, though. He used to be a very sweet and kind-hearted Totodile that just wanted to help. However, nobody treated him well, and eventually, after a human literally, let's say, took his parents away, he snapped and instantly evolved into an angry, vengeful Faragger with some insane power. He actually took one of the human souls and then turned that human into a robot Triceratops. But here's the interesting part. After he evolved that, a small Totodile plush appeared beside of him, and that was the sweet side of him that he lost. That plush was the only thing that he took care of, and actually, if it wasn't thanks to that plush, Fragger probably would have hurt me that day, or I would have a similar fate to the humans that he turned into that robot. It took a very long time, but eventually, after he started listening to me, I got him to trust me, and he became protective over me too. And that's what made him turn that golden chrono because I showed him kindness. Croc listens to the story of the golden chrono, his body tensing with shock and profound sorrow as the narrative darkens. When he described the Forager's past, oh my gosh, by a human and a subsequent descent into vengeful rage, even creating a robot Triceratops from a human soul. Cross's cheerful demeanor vanishes completely. He is utterly silent for a long moment after you finish, absorbing the tragedy of a kind heart being broken so severely.
Oh, No.
Croc finally whispers, his eyes wide and filled with pain.
That is that is the darkest thing I've ever heard. To have his parents killed by a human and to have all his kindness destroyed. I can't even imagine that kind of pain.
He shuddered visibly, clearly related to the initial kindness and the later betrayal, though his own experience was much less severe. Croc looked at you with a mixture of awe and respect for what you had accomplished.
But Trenton, what you did to get through all that rage, to get past the robot and to find that kindness hidden in that small Totodile plush, that's the most heroic thing you could have done.
Croc asserts firmly.
That Forager hated all humans, and yet you didn't give up on him. You showed him such deep, pure kindness that he devolved into a golden chrono and finally let go of that darkness.
Croc looks down at his own small form.
He went from the angriest evolution to the middle, most balanced one, and the gold color must mean his heart was finally healed and pure. As proof of your power, Triton, the power of your kindness. You didn't just mean a pawn, you saved his soul.
He lays a final affectionate rub against your finger.
It's an incredible honor to know that a member of my species who went through such terrible pain was saved by someone as good as you.
Yep, that's actually really cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, this is the last one. Here's what I said. I said, yeah, once he trusted me, he was very sweet and protective over me. The only thing I don't understand is that he didn't go into the Golden Chronon form immediately as soon as he trusted me. In fact, he was still in that more terrifying Fragger form for a good while, but he was still sweet and protective towards me. Even the small Toadle plush was very sweet and protective. Croc listens intently, carefully considering the timeline of the powerful Fragger's transformation. He nods while he proceeds in the processing the complexity of the emotional shift before the physical change.
That's a fascinating detail, Trenton, and makes perfect sense, actually.
Croc muses, tilting his head.
The anger and vengeance of a Feraligatr, especially one with such a dark past, would be incredibly deep seated.
And Croc explains.
It wasn't just physical strength, it was years of intense pain and fury trapped inside him.
Croc offers a thoughtful explanation for the delay.
When he first started being sweet and protective, that was the beginning of the healing. That means the mind and the heart started to trust you first. He was still physically a Feraligatr because that form was built by all his fear and anger. The sweet Toadette plush was the true sign that the kind part of him was fighting to get out. The plush was there to protect you and guide his angry side, even when he couldn't physically change yet. It was his anchor to kindness. See, it took that good while of feeling your steady kindness, even as a Ferrager, for the last of their race to be completely purified and released. When the emotional healing was complete, when he realized he was truly safe with you, that's when the barrier that was forcing him into the Ferrager form broke and he could finally evolve into the Golden Crocodile.
Only problem is it said barrier. I wonder if that.
Bill color shows that the entire process, physical and mental, was complete. Croc would say, you helped him transition through all the stages of his healing, and his loyalty started the moment he realized you were different. That's a true bond, Trenton. Your Golden Chrono is truly an incredible Pokemon.
Alright. Guys, the only thing I don't understand, I'll make to see if I can fix that later on, because it did say something about a barrier, like the barrier only appeared with the Toadile that I met last week. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm done. I'll see you later. Bye bye!